Welcome to this room. Listen guys, there are a lot of really awesome gaming trilogies out there, such as Mass Effect, Metroid Prime, and the original Halo trilogy. Awesome games, each one with their own unique characters, own unique storylines spanning over, count 'em, 1, 2, 3 games. We're not talking about those today, guys. We're not talking about the widely accepted as the best ones. We're talking about the best one. That trilogy is Super Mario Brothers. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, that's crazy, dude. That is not true. And I would say, yes, you are absolutely correct. But that won't stop me. Whoosh! I can't think of a better way to start this video than to start where it all began. Not just this trilogy, but the entire Mario franchise as a whole. Listen, guys, this game, honestly, I'm not really sure. On one hand, it's one of the most loved, respected, and influential games of all time. If this game had not been made, Nintendo, the whole gaming industry, honestly, probably the entire Earth, would be radically different today. But you can't overlook a few flaws, man. When this game first came out, it was probably the greatest game ever to exist. Ever. But we're here literally 35 years later, and yeah, it hasn't aged perfectly. But you guys didn't come for negativity, you came to hear about how amazingly perfect this franchise, this series, this trilogy is. Nostalgia. That is gonna be the first thing that you feel when you first start up this game. Unless, of course, you've never played this game before, then it's meaningless to you. You don't really care. And I know, nostalgia is a bad way to judge how good or bad a game is. Just give this one to me, guys. It doesn't have a whole lot else going for it. Let this one slide. Please. Another truly awesome way this game excels is its enemies. I believe every enemy in this game is still around today. You got your Koopas, you got your Goombas, you got your flying cloud dudes, you got your spiky ball dudes, you've got the plants, you've got the Bowser man, the Koopa King himself. You've got Mario, you've got Luigi. The cast of characters are iconic. As iconic as it gets. The design of these enemies are also awesome. They all look great. That kind of leads me into the next awesome thing about this game. How many times am I gonna say awesome in this video? The landscapes, the sky, the ground. It's awesome. It's beautiful. It's lush. It's green. It's blue. The clouds are fluffy. It all looks great, and it provides for an awesome time and an awesome ambiance. Every time you start up this game and play through level 1-1, you instantly get a bunch of happy vibes. Coolness all around, dude. Unfortunately, this kind of leads into my first negative, that being, once you've played through the first world, you've really played through them all. Again, this was the first and probably the most influential Super Mario game ever created, so I won't dwell too much on the negative, but basically you have your grassy land, you have your dark grassy land, and you have your snowy grassy land. I think it's snow. I don't really know. I think that's snow. Also, it's no secret that Mario games tend to not quite deliver in the realm of bosses. And this game is a perfect testament to that. The first boss is the Koopa King himself. You jump over him, you hit the axe, he dies. World 2, rinse and repeat. But then when we finally reach the final fortress, we hit the axe, The bridge falls and the final boss, Bowser himself, plunges into the lava. We walk in to see the princess we've fought so hard to save, and what does she say? Thank you, Mario. Your quest is over. We present to you a new quest. Push B button to select a world. Yay! Not quite the reaction I was expecting, but she said thank you, so I guess that's something. So yeah, that is Super Mario Brothers. It's not a perfect game, but it is the perfect way to start a perfect series. And what is more perfect than to follow the first game of the series with the second? Super Mario Brothers 2. Not that one. Not that one either. Okay, gotta explain something. So this was technically the first Super Mario Bros. 2, and it was essentially exactly the same as the first one. Only it was a lot harder, and apparently it was too hard for the simple American fools, so they took this random Japanese game and turned that into a Mario game so that the peasants living in the US wouldn't complain, and just think we got a brand new Super Mario game when in reality we got a completely different game that just reskinned the original characters into Mario characters we all know and love. So after that nonsense, you would expect this game to be absolutely horrible. And you would be kinda right. To be honest, this game isn't that bad. I was coming into this game fully ready to roast it, completely beat it into the ground, but I prefer this game over the first one. As a game, I appreciate the first one more. But I would rather play through the second one again. It was actually kind of fun. Don't misunderstand me, this is a weird game. Definitely the weirdest game out of the mainline Super Mario games. But it's got a charm to it, man. I'm sorry, I cannot help but love this game. I mean, just take the main mechanic of the whole game. You cannot jump on things. Mario, the man who used to be called Jump Man, cannot squish things in this game. He picks them up and chucks them at people. It's weird. It is weird. It's really weird. But man, I love it so much. This game jarred me at first. It was weird. It's a new experience, let me tell you. Literally my first gripe with the first one was that it was too boring. This one is not boring. Obviously, the single greatest thing in this entire game is the story. Just listen to this. When Mario opened a door after climbing a long stair in his dream, another world spread before him, and he heard a voice call for help to be freed from a spell. After awakening, Mario went to a cave nearby, and to his surprise, he saw exactly what he saw in his dream. Push start button! Whoa! What's gonna happen? Was it all just a dream? Who is screaming? I love how Mario just wakes up and makes a beeline toward the nearest cave and just happens to find a giant ladder with a stair and a door on the top. Who put that there? I feel like what probably happened is that near the end of production, someone higher up was like, hey, this game doesn't have enough story. Kids these days want to be immersed. So they solved this problem by jotting down the first thing that came to their mind and putting that in the game. It's fine with me, I don't mind. Story aside though, this game looks awesome. Compared to the first one, which was nice, it was great for its time, but compared to now, it's pretty drab and boring in some places. This one is colorful. Just look at this waterfall, dude. Pretty. Pretty. And guess what, guys? We have more than 3 different types of levels. This time we've got grass. We've got desert. We've got ocean. Complete with whales, by the way. You got ice. You got a few others too. I don't even remember all of them. it just makes you want to spread out your arms and smile really big. Whatever you do when you're happy, I don't know. Alright, let's get this surface level stuff out of the way. Let's get to the nitty gritty. What makes this game so good? First of all, having multiple characters really makes a huge difference. Probably the greatest thing about this game is the fact that you can pick multiple characters. That is right. This is a multiplayer Mario game. It's not really multiplayer. You can just be more than one person, that's what I'm saying. You get it. You have Luigi who can jump crazy high. You have Toad that runs like a madman. And then you have Peach who can literally fly in the air. And then you have Mario who... I'm not really sure what he does. This aspect of the game not only makes it more interesting, but also provides way more in the realm of replayability. Early Nintendo games, like we said before, aren't always the most interesting. They don't always have the most variety in them, but this really makes it way better. You can play a level with Peach and fly all over the place, or you're like, hey, I want a challenge, and let's be Toad, who can run really fast but can't really jump very high. But this absolutely awesome cast of characters doesn't end there. This may not have been a 100% authentic Mario game, but a lot of the enemies that we know and love today made their debut in this game. This is literally the very first appearance of Birdo, Shy Guy, Pokey, and Sniffit. Of course, we have all of the other enemies, such as Hoopstar. You've got Hoopstar, Bezo, Tweeter, and my personal favorite, Panther. Just Panther. Panther is my favorite. These enemies are a little bit obscure. You've got everything from a little ninja to a shy guy riding an ostrich. An ostrich. And we're still not done, boys. We covered the main cast of characters. We covered the enemies. We're going bosses now. Yeah, we're going big. There was a mouse. There was a fireball and a snake. And I'm blanking on the other one. There is another one, though. First of all, there are 5 different bosses in this game. They each have their own pattern, and they each have their own strategy of how you beat them. Say it with me. Variety. So that leaves one more boss, the main boss of the entire game. It's not the Koopa King this time, no sir. It is a giant frog named Wart. No, I'm not joking. I'm being completely serious. Why is he a giant frog? Why are there no other frogs in this vast world? I don't know. Just theorize all you want. Maybe it is Bowser. He has a crown. I don't think Bowser has a crown, but it could be Bowser. Maybe someone turned him into a frog or something. I don't really know. Alright, we've covered the beginning of the game, the characters, the enemies. Where else to go but the very end of the game? Alright guys, get ready for a trip. The last castle is, pretty standard. You fight Birdo, you get a key, you open a door, you go into the big blue room, and there he is. In all of his glory, Wart, the big green frog. Please, someone write a song about Wart the big green frog and send it to me. I would absolutely love that. Anyway, you finally beat Wart. You're all happy. You do your little happy. You dance where you win. Yay. Nice. And the door opens up and you're like, hey, that wasn't strange at all. You'd be right. So, it's gonna get weird. Buckle in. You go in the door and what do you see? A jar with a cork in it. What do? Obviously, you go and open it, and what's inside? A bunch of flying babies. I'm not making that up. Flying babies fly out of the jar and circle around you normal thing for a baby that flies to do. If I had wings as a baby, I might do that. What am I saying? And then it goes into the next screen where you can see how each person contributed. It's a pretty cool thing. So that's all well and good. But then you look down. The babies have found Wart's beat up body and are now taking him away. What are they gonna do with him? They just take him away. Bye bye. It's disturbing to say the least. That said, they were trapped in there for probably a very long time. So I don't blame them, honestly. Alright, so that was fine. Weird. It was weird. Then it cuts away, and Mario is sleeping in his bed. That's right. Mario was dreaming the entire time. Oh boy. They have just pulled off the single greatest twist in any video game ever. They literally said at the beginning that he was sleeping. Then he woke up. Then he did all this stuff. But guess what, guys? He was still asleep. Everything that they said was a lie. Anyway, yeah, that's the end. The end of the game. So, closing thoughts. It was good. I can say that with 100% certainty. It was good. Was it perfect? No. Was it bad? Maybe. But one thing is for sure. It was fun. And it was interesting. So anyway, that is Super Mario Bros. 2 in a nutshell. Bet you can't guess which one we're gonna do next. That is right. Super Mario Brothers. The third one. Alright guys, I have to admit something before we start this one. I may have a very slight, maybe a really, really large bias toward this game. My grandma had an NES in her upstairs bedroom, so all the time me and my siblings would just hike over there and play Mario Bros. 3. That said, I really do think that this is the best one in the trilogy, and I don't think that is a stretch at all. Right off the bat, you know what this game is about. It's bright, it's colorful, it's fun, just like the previous two, but on steroids. Before this, there was no formula to Mario. You had Mario 1, you had Mario 2 in Japan, you had Mario 2 in the US. He was in the Donkey Kong, he was in a few other random ones. But the formula of Mario wasn't set until this game. And you don't believe me? Here is a list I have compiled of all the things that made their debut in this game. And yes, I am going to read this because I'm not memorizing this, I'm sorry. You've got your Chain Chomps, Boos, Boomerang Bros, Fire Bros, Dry Bones, Rocky Wrenches, Spikes, Thwomps, Fire Piranha Plants, Cannons, Boom Booms, and all of the Koopalings. Was the first Mario game to have a world map, airships, mushroom houses, fortresses, wandering enemies on the map, ghost ships, which were a precursor to ghost houses, and I could go on all day if I had to. This game was not only a pioneer for Mario games, but also platforming games in general. So is this game great only because it exists and nothing more? No, of course not. This is an amazing game. I praised the second one for having a lot more variety than the first one, and this just blows it out of the water. There are 8 worlds, each one with its unique thing. I'm not gonna list them all. There's grassy land, there's like a desert place, there's a sea place, there's one that is in the sky. Bowser's world is completely enshrouded in darkness. There's even a world where everything is gigantic, like 5 times its normal size. That's enough positivity. Where does this game fall short? Where are the cracks in the wall? Number 1 is probably that the bosses, again, are really repetitive. Pretty much the same thing over and over again. Jump on his head. Wait. Jump on his head. Wait. Jump on his head again. Nice. It's not a super valid criticism, mainly because Some of them jump higher, some of them throw rings, one of them is on a bouncy ball, but that doesn't make them any less boring and repetitive. Other than that, it also had a few puzzly levels that were less than nice. Guess what, guys? We have come to the end of the best, greatest, without a shadow of a doubt, the most perfect trilogy ever created by man. So what did we learn? Not really anything, to be honest, but what did you expect? In closing, these games are pretty good. Every single one of these are definitely worth your time. And you know what? Just do it. Just give Super Mario Bros. 2 a chance. You might end up hating it, but maybe not as much as you think. Oh, and just one more thing before you go. Why haven't you liked and subscribed yet, you silly goose? I mean, you've watched this far, you're kind of obligated to at this point. Y'all have a good week. I'll see you guys later.